Yo! I'm the Foul Hooked Whitey. I'm back. I'm coming to you not live from East Rosebud Studios in Billings, Montana. I've been away. Not because I don't have rant material, but because I've been fucking busy. I mean, I'll give you a quick update. We're having a superb season in Billings. I mean, yeah. I know all the drama. Billings, is it going to this? Is it going to that? I'll just fill you in for what Billings is right now. The best fucking fly shop in the state of Montana is what my Billings store is right now. And, you know, we might have some stuff going down. We might not. But the point is right now we're having a great season in Billings. And I'm having a superb inaugural season in the 307. I mean, you know, this what started out as this, how did I end up in Thermopolis, Wyoming? You know, it straight up turned into saving my fucking life. And I don't mean my professional life, although I've been doing good business down there. This has been opening a store in Thermopolis and moving to Thermopolis at least 75-80% of my time has been the best fucking move I've ever made. And, you know, the irony is it all started in conjecture. So, but, you know, before all that drama and everything, you know, fly fishing Nielsen ratings came in. And, you know, we haven't done a podcast for 2 weeks. And the Nielsen rating company, they contacted me out of Los Angeles via email. And they said, you know, hey, you know what, we can't assess a viewership when you're not on the air. And I said, look, thank you, but just do your job. Tell me what's my current viewership based on my last episode? And the report was 2. So we lost the kid in Sheridan. We lost Ralph. But thankfully, we still have my blood-sucking ex-wife and her attorney. And I'm going to encourage both of them, please, talk to your friends, your family, and have them listening to this. So we need some viewership. So, and I'm confident we'll get it as we move forward. You know, there's an animal out there that actually impersonates being a military member. And they call them service member impostors. And, you know, in the sport of fly fishing, we have something called a fly fishing guide imposter. And that's my rant. I mean, what the fuck does that mean? Having benefited from spending thousands and thousands and thousands of hours behind a fly fishing counter and observing the sphere of my industry, the good, the bad, and the ugly, I've gotten a chance to observe some behavior that to me is strange. And that strange behavior is a fly fishing guide imposter. And, you know, I mean, you know, who the fuck is that? My audience of 2 is wondering, what the fuck is he ranting about now? A fly fishing guide imposter is an individual who gets licensed with the intent of becoming a professional fly fishing guide. But neither ever guides at all, or that imposter guides very little at all. And you know, the reason that has a rub with me, and again, I see this shit, is because, you know, the Foul Hooked Whitey has said this 500 times in his broadcasts, his podcasts, and that's that being a professional fly fishing guide is the hardest fucking job in the entire sport of fly fishing, the entire industry of fly fishing. It's tougher than anything. And, you know, I'm a fly shop retailer. That's tough. But what they do every single day, fishing guides, is even tougher. And why? Imagine what you do professionally. And again, I know I'm only talking to 2 here. But imagine what you do professionally and having to be 3 feet away. 3 feet away from somebody you possibly have never met before, and you're 3 feet away from them for 8 fucking hours. Now, just think about your life, your world. I mean, again, we have no listenership, but if somebody, maybe tunes in, I mean, wrap around that for just a second. When are you ever 3 feet away, 4 feet away from a stranger for 8 fucking hours? So, I mean, that right there for a lot of people is a no-go. Guides have a responsibility, and we're just talking freshwater guides here, but guides have a responsibility of making human beings happy, fly fishermen and women happy on a fishing trip. I have paid, let's face it, between fresh and salt, god damn, easily $100,000 or $200,000 on just travel, lodge costs, fishing abroad, fishing with local guides. You name it. I've spent a lot of money doing it. So I've been in the field a lot with guides. And yeah, they have the responsibility of getting you hooked up, meaning how they row, where they row, directing you properly, efficiently, professionally, et cetera, et cetera. But they can't put your fish in the net. So things have to happen for a guided client to be happy. And guides to get a good tip, to get a good reputation, to build a book of business. Those motherfuckers, they have to make some people that it's impossible to make them happy, they have to make them happy. And, I know a lot of guides. Guides do not like all their clients. Hell no. It's like the caddies at the caddy shop, talking about the fucking golfers that day, I'm sure, as they sit around and drink a beer and mingle. Oh my God, I had this guy today that was this. And oh my God, I had a guide in my shop earlier today, just literally the day of this broadcast. And I said to him, I looked right at him and I said, you love a beginning angler client, right? You love a newbie. And he's like, fuck yes. You give me a clean slate. And I was like, ooh, clean slate. I love that. That means somebody that's green. He said that for a reason. And it isn't because he has to work a little harder getting them to where they need to be instructionally. Their casting, their drift, their line management, their hook set. That's hard to pull off in the first hour or 2 or 3 hours of a fishing day with a rookie. And get them to the point where they're actually demonstrating it, so they're fucking hooking up and they're smiling. But the reason that this guide said he prefers a clean slate is because fly fishermen can just be such temperamental little bitches with being fucking happy. And a lot of times they're that way and they don't even know what they're fucking doing yet. That's hard to guide. That's difficult to guide. And the reason that that's difficult to guide is because fly fishermen can be fucking know-it-alls. I was in my shop 2 days ago just doing some routine travel business, meaning folks traveling, coming in. Hey, we're from Chattanooga. We're from fucking upstate New York. And I had this cat, that nice guy, him and his kid, they're, going to fish the Madison. And he's one of these motherfuckers that, like, every time he asked me a question and I gave him an answer, what size tippet do I need? What flies do you recommend? I'm busy, and I answer his questions with, God, I'd fish some Pat's rubber leg, and I would do 3, and everything was really? What? So, that's in my store, and if that dude bugs me enough, I'm just walking the fuck away. There's just no doubt that professionally I can do that, and I do that. I'm here to help folks, and I'm here to give people straight info and straight recommendations, of course. I want the long dollar. The Foul Hooked Whitey is smart. Unless it comes to women. But I can't imagine that same dude sitting 3 feet away from me as I'm trying to give him decent instruction so that he can catch trout with me and give me a good tip. I just can't even imagine that responsibility. Not because it can't be done, but because I wouldn't want to fucking do it. So guides have to deal with a lot, and making somebody happy. And by the way, that dude that was in, I mean, this guy, this guy's from Jersey, right? And here he wants to show me all these pictures of these stock fucking mediocre trout, right, from New Jersey. And every time he swiped that fucking screen, I just felt that puke get closer and closer to the top of my mouth. So, again, I can't even imagine guiding that. The imposters minimize everything I just said. When a legit guide walks into my shop, I give him attention. Not because there's any, particular dollar sale element to me paying attention to this man. But if this motherfucker's a professional and this motherfucker's good, I'm talking about the real guides. I look to them for information. I don't glean it. I'm not scouring guides for what bugs they're fishing and all that. They hate that shit. But I'm still understanding that, just like I'm talking to 200 people today in the shop, I'm sitting there looking at this guide and I'm thinking, he's grinding 13 fucking days in a row except for today. And after today, which probably involves a lot of laundry, getting lunch food, so he can make his client lunches over the next week or two, I'm sitting there going, I know this motherfucker's in the fight with me. So there's a camaraderie there. When somebody comes into my shop and pulls that, I think I'm going to guide. And they say, I think I'm going to guide because they can do it, meaning they're semi-retired or they're just working part-time or just whatever. It's something that allows them to do it. And how flippant the fly fishing guide imposter is about the difficulty in that sport, in that profession, just straight up pisses me the fuck off. And it's because, there's a kid that I love this kid. He's a customer. He's a friend. I'm just going to call him Spicoli. And that's because, he's a wonderful, sweethearted, proficient dude that, is like Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. He just is. The hair, the dope. I love the kid. He's gotten good. He's worked hard. His first ever guiding day, 4 years ago, involved him staying overnight near the Bighorn River in Montana because he had to be there at fucking 7 a.m., 6 a.m. Didn't have a place to stay the night before, so, just slept in his truck. And he ends up missing an aquatic species check near a town, a tribal town called St. Xavier, which is not far from Fort Smith, Montana. And he misses it. And he knew he missed it, but he had to be, at the put-in to meet his clients. And he's nervous. Fuck, it's his first day there. So he gets to 3 mile put-in, getting ready. And all of a sudden, a senior guide barrels in who knows he didn't stop at the station 6, 8, 10 miles downstream and lays the fuck into Spicoli on this boat ramp. I mean, that right there, that would end a lot of guides' careers right fucking there. But not Spicoli. Because he wants to be a professional fly fishing guide. He's not an imposter. And even after making the mistake of not stopping there at that check station, and after sitting there and enduring a senior respected guide browbeating him in front of plenty, he came back to guide the next day. And a fly fishing guide imposter doesn't have the balls to endure that. I can assure you. That's it for episode 1. I am the Foul Hooked Whitey.